Most people have a plan for their money. Pay the bills, cover the basics, maybe save a little, maybe invest when things settle down a bit, when life slows down, when there's more left over at the end of the month. And I completely understand that thinking because I lived it for a long time. There was always a reason to wait, always something that needed to be handled first. The timing just never felt quite right. But here's what I wish someone had told me during that season of life. The cost of doing nothing with your money is not zero. It feels like zero, it looks like zero, your account balance doesn't go down, and nothing bad visibly happens, but underneath the surface, something very real is occurring, and it compounds quietly every single month you wait. Today we're talking about what actually happens to your money when you leave it alone. Not in a judgmental way, just the math. Because once you see the numbers, the decision to wait stops feeling neutral. Hey, welcome to the part they skip, the stuff they glossed over, the chapter that wasn't in the textbook, the money conversation on finance that you wish your teachers had with you. If you're new here, hit subscribe. I got a new video every week, and every episode comes with a free PDF. It's the cheat sheet of everything we covered today. Grab it in the description below. Now, before we get into it, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Everything I share here is for educational purposes only. I'm going to give you a framework for how I think about this topic, but your situation is unique. Take what makes sense, leave what doesn't, and if you're making a major financial decision, always talk to a qualified professional first. All right, let's get into it. So here's what I think everyone watching this actually wants. You want to feel like your money is doing something, not just sitting there, not just covering the basics and disappearing, actually moving in a direction that gives you more options down the road. And the honest truth is, most people want that, but feel like they need to be in a certain place financially before they can start. Like there's a threshold that needs to be crossed before investing or growing your money applies to you. Well, I'm here to tell you that there isn't. And that belief that you need to be further along before you start is one of the most expensive beliefs a person can hold. Because time is the one ingredient in this entire equation that you cannot buy back. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Money sitting idle is not neutral. It is not just treading water. It is actively losing ground in two ways simultaneously, and most people only vaguely understand one of them. The first way is inflation. We covered this in the last video. If your money is sitting in a low yield account and inflation is running higher than your interest rate, purchasing power is declining every year. The number stays the same, but what it can buy goes down. But the second way is what I really want to focus on today, because I feel like this one hits differently when you actually see it and you actually hear it. Opportunity cost of time. This is the cost of not having your money in a position to compound. And compounding is one of those concepts that sounds simple, but the numbers are genuinely shocking when you map them out. Here's how I think about it. Money invested in a diversified portfolio has historically grown over long periods of time. The exact rate obviously will vary, and past performance will never guarantee future results. But for the sake of understanding the concept, let's use a conservative historical estimate. If you take a sum of money and leave it alone in a low yield savings account for 30 years, you end up with roughly what you put in plus a small amount of interest. The number grows slowly, linearly. If you take that same sum of money and put it in a position where it compounds at a reasonable rate over 30 years, the number will grow exponentially. The difference between those two outcomes is not small. It is life-changing. I remember the first time someone showed me a compound interest chart, and I genuinely sat there for a moment because the line just kind of crawls along for years. And then at some point, it bends sharply upward and the growth becomes almost vertical. And the thing that makes that bend happen is not money. It is time. It is simply leaving it alone long enough for the compounding to build on itself. And here's the part that I find genuinely difficult to sit with. Every year you wait to start is a year of compounding you can never get back. You can always earn more money. You can always save more. You cannot go back and add years to the front end of your compound growth curve. A person who starts at, let's say, 22 with a modest amount invested consistently ends up in a dramatically different place than a person who starts at 32 with the same amount invested at the same rate. Not because of discipline, not because of income, just because of when the clock started. Now here's the framework that reframes the waiting mindset. Doing nothing is a decision. It just doesn't feel like one. But every month you leave money in a position where it cannot grow, it's a month of compounding you are choosing to skip. And those months add up in ways that are very hard to recover from later. Here's how I think about starting before you feel ready. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need a large sum of money. You do not need to understand every investment option available to you. You need to start somewhere with something and let time do the work. The two most accessible starting points for most people are these. First, if your employer offers a retirement plan with a match, contribute at least enough to capture the full match. This is the closest thing to free money that exists in any personal finance. Your employer has agreed to add to your retirement account based on what you put in. If you're not capturing that match, you are working for less than your full compensation without you even realizing it. Start here before anything else. Second, if you don't have access to an employer plan or you want to do more than that, a Roth IRA is one of the most powerful tools available to regular people. You contribute after-tax dollars, the money grows tax-free, and when you withdraw it in retirement, you pay no taxes on the growth. The contribution limits reset every year. Time in the market matters more than timing the market. Starting small is infinitely better than not starting at all. And the enemy of starting is perfection. People wait until they understand everything, until they have more to invest, until the market looks better, until life settles down. And the clock keeps running away while they wait. Now here's the action framework. Step 1, identify where your money currently sits. What is it doing? What is it earning? Is it in a position to grow or is it parked somewhere idle? Step 2, if you have an employer retirement plan with a match, log in today and confirm you are contributing enough to capture the full match. If you are not, increase your contribution to at least that threshold. Do it today. Step 3, if you want to go further, open a Roth IRA if you don't have one. Online brokerages have made this process straightforward. You can open an account and make your first contribution in less than an hour. Step 4, automate. Set your contributions to happen automatically, kind of like that Netflix subscription, every single month, so the decision is made once and then runs on its own. Automation removes the friction that causes people to stop. The cost of doing nothing is real. It just doesn't show up on a statement. It shows up years later when you look at what you have versus what you could have had. And the gap is explained entirely by time. Start somewhere, start today, apply what makes sense for your situation. And that's it for today. If this helped, hit like. It helps more people find the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and grab the free PDF cheat sheet in the description below. Everything we covered today ready to save or share. This is video 7 of 10 in our foundation series, the 10 money basics every adult should know, but most people were never taught. If you missed the last one on why your savings account is quietly losing you money, that one is right here. See you next week.